Are you listening?
Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant, and for today's episode, let's talk about a developing story that involves Capcom and a whole bunch of content creators. This week, Capcom released new guidelines for content creators as part of their new Capcom video policy. And the guidelines break down the various do's and don'ts of content creation, along with outlining when, where, and how their IP can be used. But interestingly enough, when Capcom begins to break down what type of monetization is allowed for content creators using Capcom games, things get very interesting, as Capcom makes it very clear that their games or characters should be used for non-commercial use only, outside of the permitted forms of monetization. And if you're wondering what those forms of monetization are, they include ad revenue on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, along with collecting voluntary contributions like super chats or bits, as long as your video remains free to watch for the public. Now, for the most part, that's business as usual, but Capcom also explains that content creators cannot hide Capcom-created content behind paywalls, with Capcom saying you may not limit to paid access, sell, or license your content that includes our game content to others for any payment of any kind. In particular, we do not allow you to create new content using our game if a paid subscription is required for people to access our specific content. And with that guideline, it seems that Capcom is directly talking about services like Patreon, which allows creators to upload and create content that users can view after paying a monthly membership fee that directly supports the creator. And typically, creators will utilize Patreon to allow early access viewings to Let's Plays or various other content. But according to Capcom's new rules, this is no longer allowed, restricting a massive source of revenue for content creators. And we should probably clarify, by that terminology, restricting content behind YouTube memberships or Twitch subscriptions could also be restricted under Capcom's new rules. And the punishment for not abiding by these guidelines could result in Capcom taking action to have your video taken down, which on YouTube could result in a strike on your channel. And look, developers enforcing rules on live streaming or content creators isn't really anything new, as currently the industry's kind of like a Wild West, and developers are trying to rein it in as much as possible. In fact, we've seen developers like Atlas put embargoes on select moments of the game's story to prevent spoilers, along with developers questioning whether or not streamers should pay more to stream video games. And with this new update from Capcom, it kind of marks the first large developer to try to rein in content creation since the now defunct Nintendo Partner Program. And I guess where I want to end this is by asking you, what do you think of these new guidelines? Are they fair? Should services like Patreon or YouTube memberships be included with these new guidelines? Or do you think that Capcom has all the rights in the world to restrict this type of content? I'm extremely interested to hear your thoughts, so please let me know in the comment section down below. Hey, thanks again for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content just like it, which who wouldn't, hit the subscribe button right there. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Maybe even consider becoming a Nerf Report best friend, just like the people listed down below did. In fact, don't you want to see your name there? I know I do.